Now, if you look at this skeleton, and most skeletons like this, that are prepared like this, you will notice that there are a group of bones that make up the hand and wrist, right? These are called the carpal bones. There are 8 carpal bones. If, however, you come up here and try to count 8 individual bones, you're only going to see 7. The reason for that is because this little bone right here, the pisiform, is attached to the triquetrum, which is this bone right here. And you can see that on this sheet. If you look on this sheet, page, the one page with this picture on this sheet, numbered apparently. If you look on there, you can see the triquetral and pisiform. The pisiform bone is this little sort of projection that is on here. If this were a real skeleton, that would be a separate bone, or it could be a separate bone. So you'd see it separately. Also, what's hard to tell, I think, in this diagram, the capitate is the one right in the middle. Right here, the larger one, sort of centrally located of those 8 carpal bones, the one right here. Next to that, you have the hamate. And you can tell the hamate because it has a little hook that sticks off of it. That's the hook of the hamate. Then you have the triquetral. I'm not going to hold you responsible for these, but I do want you to at least have them available. So for right now, here's what I want you to know. I want you to know there's 8 carpal bones. If you want to be able to identify them on here, I also left the netter's anatomy out this way so you can see it a little clearer. Like I said, I know mine is a little difficult to see. But you might be able to tell on here. Ludate, scaphoid, trapezoid, yeah. I'm not going to hold you responsible for those, but I do want you to know there's 8 of them. Okay. Extending from the carpal bones right here, the hand and the wrist. This, by the way, the reason, why do we have so many little bones right here? What's the purpose of this? Right, so we have all this extra hand and wrist movement that would not be available otherwise. So they can glide across one another. Good, all right. Extending from each of those, we have these long bones, these short, these small long bones right here. And these are the metacarpal. If they're coming from the carpal bones, the metacarpals. Then, of course, we get to the fingers. Each finger has 3 bones. That makes sense because we have 1, 2, 3 parts right here. Each one of those parts has a bone. They're called the phalanges. And they're just simply designated as proximal, middle, or intermediate. You might hear that as well. And distal. Proximal, middle, and distal, or proximal, intermediate, and distal. And this is true for all of the fingers except for the thumb that only has 2. Good. All right, moving down to the pelvis.
Are the phalanges numbered going across, or how do you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same with the toes. 1, 2, big toe, Alex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That actually starts with the metatarsals and the metacarpals.
Okay.
The numbered system. Okay. We are at the pelvis. The pelvis is made up of actually 3 main parts, right? We have 2 mirror images on this on either side, and we have right in the middle the sacrum. Now, what I've done here, this was because it was just sitting right in front of me, so this is how I saw it, so this is how I drew it. But of course, realize the pelvis really doesn't sit like this; it sits tilted, right? All right. So we have these very flat bones right up here. This is the ilium, I-L-I-U-M. We have the ridge that runs across here. This is the iliac crest. The furthest, highest point right over here is the anterior superior iliac crest. I would want you to know that. This whole part is the iliac crest. But the highest and most forward part is the anterior superior iliac crest. We have this part right here that runs in the front called the pubis, which is right here. Oh, let me go to this. Isn't there a better pelvis?
No.
Nope. Okay. The pubis is right here. And in between the pubis is this little tiny piece of cartilage, which is very important, especially when it comes to delivering babies. But it allows for some movement. That is called the pubic symphysis. little cartilage in between the two pubis, is the pubic symphysis. This is important. You need to know this one, the pubic symphysis. Then we have, just a moment, then we have this part right here, as soon as my arrow comes up, called the ischium. Now the way you see it there is sort of a little bit different than you'd see it here. The ischium is this bone right here that you kind of sit on, but it does extend towards the front this way. The ischium. And then if you look right here, there are these little projections on either side, right here and right here. Do you know what those are? No?
Ischium.
Ischial spines, or you might hear them called the spine of the ischium. Ischial spines or the spine of the ischium. This is a good landmark when we're going to deliver a baby, because we can feel this and determine the angle, whether or not we have a birth canal that's coming straight at us, or if it's widening or if it's narrowing, which of course is going to kind of make a difference. We have the holes right here, not surprisingly called foramen. These are the obturator foramen. The holes in the front of the obturator foramen. We have the indentation, this large, giant indentation where the bone of the upper leg rotates. I'm sorry?
Acetabulum?
Acetabulum, yes. Spelled with an A-C-E, tabulum. It's the acetabulum, spelled with an A-C-E, tabulum. Good things to know about the pelvis if you're ever finding skeletons and you need to identify if this is a male or female. You will notice right here, you can kind of see it, the coccyx is pointed a little more in